Good evening, everybody, and welcome to game number 2 of the winners round of 16 match here in the Legend of Zelda Random Percent Randomizer tournament here on Speed Gaming 2. Tonight, it's game number 2 between FurySK and Ategenos. And if these two opponents look familiar, that's because last year in the all boards, no swords tournament, it was FurySK who made the come from behind victory to win the tournament. And now they are meeting again with a spot in the winners quarterfinals at stake. Hi everyone, I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23, and joining me on the commentary is Melee Wizard. And tonight, Melee Wizard, well, you see it on Ategenos' side of the board. It's one-hit knockout.
Yep, we'll be seeing lots and lots of death.
Yep, exactly. So you're going to have Beam Sword the entire time. That's the good news. The bad news is if you get hit by anything at all, you're out, and you have to start over again, whether it's in the dungeon or in the overworld or whatnot. So I'm calling it right now. It's not going to be 0 HP enemies. It's going to be plus or minus 4, and blue Wizrobes are going to be shuffled up to 14 HP. Yes, call me TGE light, but I'm calling for some schadenfreude here. We're going to see some mayhem here in this race between Fury and Ategenos. Fury up 1-0 here. Ategenos must win if he wants to keep his hopes of staying in the winner's bracket alive and well.
If you really want to be mean to the runners, let's have those blue Wizrobes out in force in the overworld, huh?
And especially if they're in the overworld, Melee Wizard, that it's definitely going to be on the screen, one screen south of vanilla level 6. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if we want to be as evil as possible, that's what you guys are hoping for. People in chat, what are you hoping you're going to see in this race coming up between Fury and Ategenos? Well, here we go. We're starting at one of the Armo statue with 6 out of the 8 Triforces on the board.
And I saw 0 HP on the Armoses, at least. They do have the boomerang, and they have the book.
Ooh, and if it is 0 HP enemies, that's great news. Now remember that 3 HP, and the blue moblins go down. It's still a little too early to tell, but we could be seeing 0 HP enemies, which is good news for these runners because, again, one hit from anything, and they are out.
Yeah, it's one small comfort for extended survivability, and we got the any roads right off the bat.
Also, the 2 starting items for both of these runners, one of them is the wooden boomerang, and as you can see on Ategenos' side, we also have the book. So both of our runners have the book. Now, the 64,000 rupee question is the book going to be a boomstick or not? We'll find out in due time. Ategenos going to find a door repair penalty and is now bankrupt. Well, we know it's not a full-blown second quest overworld, so it's either going to be a first quest overworld or it's going to be mixed. No,
I want to say it has something to do with the color of that vanilla 3, but I'm not sure of the details of it now.
In any event, we did see the any roads, and unfortunately there's no any roads to the northeast, so I'm going to have to say it's a B- any roads.
Well, finding them early is not a bad thing.
And, well, speaking of bad things, if this is a mixed second quest overworld, we could be dealing with only one large secret. If that's the case, that small secret that Ategenos just picked up worth only 8 rupees could cause some problems, especially if we need to make some purchases. Again, because this is one-hit knockout, jewelry doesn't matter.
The gargles, they do nothing!
By the way, it's not a boomstick seed, and here's the reason why it's not a boomstick seed. We've already seen the most expensive magical shield price. It's anywhere between 140 and 180. The base price is 160. We saw something that was more than that, so that means, unfortunately, it is not a boomstick seed. Ategenos, you just saw it right there, 176 for the magical shield. We now know it is not a boomstick. So when they pick up that wand, well, good luck!
Yep.
We'll need it. Speaking of good luck, Fury, the first one to find the wood sword, and it just so happens to be at start.
Okay, which is very good considering that we've got these blue dark nuts, and even at 0 HP, the boomerang's not going to do anything to them.
No, if they are impervious to a boomerang hit, you either need to use the sword, the wand, or a bomb. And there's a bomb drop on Ategenos' side, able to pick it up. And look at the high five. They're both at the same screen. We find some money, and it's another small secret. So, by the way, there is a tip-off to determine whether it's a mixed first or a mixed second. And Zoas19 graciously put in chat that if it's green, it's a mixed second. If it's brown, it's a mixed first. Since we know it's a mixed second, that means there's only going to be one large secret. And again, the small being worth only 8, there's going to be 6 of those. Money's going to be tight.
Mm-hmm. FurySK saving and heading back to the northeast, more or less. And it looks like Ategenos is doing the same. Haven't seen any dungeons yet.
Yeah, we're almost 4 minutes in. There's no levels. There's a potion shop potentially. Yeah, that is a potion shop. FurySK hitting the reset button. Did not want to lose his 14 rupees, so he'll try again.
Yeah, since we've already seen the small secret roll low, money is a precious resource, so you want to keep what you got.
Well, the door repair penalty is at least 16 because Ategenos came in with 16 and he's now bankrupt. And there's our first.
And, oh my!
Guess what? There is good news about that book. It does act as the map, the atlas, as it were. And I didn't get to see how many rooms that level 6 was, but it was large.
A lot. it was a lot, and it took about 4.5 minutes, but we finally got our first death.
Plus, it was also shapes because that was not the first or second quest. Look, there's another death. So both runners have had a taste of death, unfortunately. So back to start. Fury goes, but Ategenos finding a clock drop here. That's going to help him clear out the rest of this screen. As Ategenos is now topped out at 8 bombs, going to leave the one blue moblin behind because he does not want to have to deal with that screen again. And we find level 3.
Certainly a lot smaller than 6, and because we've at least seen the low levels being shapes, 7 through 9 is still up in the air. We now know that that they got Triforce 2 based off of the pattern of the Triforces that they currently have, that they had at the start.
Right. Yep. Because shapes acts as first quest halves, so levels 1 through 6 are going to be shapes. Levels 7 through 9 remain to be seen. There could be shapes, could be first quest, could be second quest. More will be revealed when we find one of those 3.
And information, bosses are not 0 HP.
Well, at least there is some kind of consolation for those looking for Schadenfreude. You want to beat the bosses, you're going to have to earn it. With a wood sword, these Gliok heads take a lot of damage. Normally it's 10 and... Oh, FurySK, I don't blame him for trying. He only had a few rupees in his pocket. Tried to play the money-making game, but went bankrupt. Should have picked the one on the left for the jackpot. We have a power bracelet as our Armo statue item, and it's a little bit early to tell, but there is that chance that items may not be shuffled. And hard luck there for Ategenos, as he was getting close to taking down that Gliok, but the head got him. Back to start he goes.
Yeah, and the thing is, the only way it's going to get easier is by getting sword upgrades, which we don't know if they're a thing in this seed or not.
That's right. That's the big question there, Melee Wizard, because we have the white sword and the magical sword, but they both could have been replaced by something I like to call Bombs Plus. Bombs Plus adds 2 extra bombs to your capacity.
Yeah, FurySK when picking up the heart container, it doesn't really picking up a potion doesn't really matter in this seed for obvious reasons. So there, you really have no reason not to pick up the heart container just to see if you can eventually get at least the white sword item, if nothing else.
You want to have no more than 6 hearts. I mean, magical sword, especially if Bombs Plus is in there, is not going to be a thing with either of these runners' capabilities. And of course, number 2, the only usefulness for the potion would be for the bubble curse if it applies. Hey, there's a Laws Approved large secret at 118.
Nice.
Again, that's going to be the only one because this is a second quest mixed overworld as we find another bomb shop. And Fury with the slight discount to 5%.
Got it!
Nice.
Ategenos got it! Nice.
That's key for his reward. Yeah, very well played there for Ategenos. exploring Death Mountain here. 8 minutes in, finds another wood arrow shop, and they rolled high to 93 rupees, just 7 below the maximum price.
So one nice thing about shapes is that there's not going to be any secret rooms. Rooms that exist but aren't on the map, like, say, the eyes of the skull or whatnot. In shapes, you get what you get. What you see is what you get.
That's exactly right, Melee Wizard. We did find a heart container on the ground where that manhandle was, so hearts may not be in the shuffle. And look at this. No more swords.
Are you just to clarify, does that mean is it all or nothing regarding the swords, or is it possible that the white sword could be there but the magical sword could not?
Nope, it's all or nothing. There's no white sword, there's no magical sword. They're both gone.
Okay, I don't think I was ever too sure on that, but thank you for the information.
Now, whether or not that's the white bombs or the magical sword variety, Fury tried it at 4. That wasn't enough. We find the ghost, so that's a great find for Ategenos, which means we now know that items are shuffled. Whether or not heart containers are in the shuffle remains to be seen. We saw one on the floor, so an early indication is they are not in the shuffle, except for the ladder item on the coast.
Yeah, it's still small sample size, so we'll take things as they go.
Yep.
But the nice thing is that Triforce 3 was one of the ones that we were missing. Ategenos gets the item, saw the heart container, grabbed the Triforce, and be on his way.
Yep, and also Triforce in the Triforce room, so that flag may be on where Triforces are always going to be in the Triforce room. But again, small sample size. Ategenos going to check the casino here and find the other plus.
Well, okay. So with the regular enemies being at 0 HP, being stuck with the regular sword, with the wooden sword, isn't the worst thing. And goodness knows a lot of other enemies, boss type enemies, like, say, Goma, you wouldn't be able to use the sword anyway. The Dongos, you tend to just bomb them. The Manhandler, you tend to bomb them if you can. Really, the only boss that really matters with the non-0 HP bosses is probably maybe Gleeox.
I was able to count the number of rooms in time before Ategenos left level 6. There are 35 rooms in that dungeon.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
That's definitely on the mid-upper range. People have told me they've seen a 45-room level 6, and I think it can roll down to like 22 to 23. So it has a wide range of how big or small it could be.
Well, it kind of depends. I think it depends on just how big the other dungeons end up being.
It can, but I've seen it where all the other ones are small. Level 6 is still not that big. So, yeah, the odds are that if it is smaller, if you see smaller 1 through 5, that 6 is going to be rather large, but that is not a guarantee. As Ategenos, we find our first medium secret, which is 34 rupees. That's not bad.
Yeah, it helps counteract the reduced small secret, if nothing else.
So given the money that we've seen, I definitely would call this an above-average money seed, but this is not a big money seed, considering, again, second quest distribution as Fury finds his first medium secret at the Speaking of the coast, we do find a recorder. Interesting. Unfortunately, as you had mentioned, there was that Ategenos did take a death there. Tough break at the waterfall. Seeing that the recorder was our ladder item on the coast, that reduces our odds that heart containers are not in the shuffle. Now there's definitely a chance they may be in the shuffle.
Right, because the heart piece on the coast, that's kind of its own separate thing. It has no bearing on the 8 heart containers that you can find in the dungeons. And there's level 1, and we already know it's segmented.
Yep,
lovely.
14 rooms, which is definitely on the small side of a level 1. Smallest I've ever seen is 13. People have told me that 12 exists, but I've yet to see that. Anyways, Ategenos is going to make his attempt at level 1. And look at the size of that level 8
And-
that Fury's in.
And that's shapes for 7 through 9. That confirms that.
That is
So-
37 rooms. That is a huge level 8.
I'd have to see their menu again to see which Triforce piece was missing. But according to our tracker, they're missing Triforce piece number 7. So with that knowledge, FurySK, I presume, would notice that, and is probably just here trying to find an item at this point.
Well, there are going to be 3 items, 1 on the floor and 2 behind staircases, but there's going to be 2 sets of transport staircases as well, because as you can see, level 8 is segmented. And that also means, because the Triforce is in level 7, it's going to be a much more pleasant level 7 than either first or second quest. First quest being 33 rooms of pure torture, and second quest having a zillion staircases.
And we found our first item in level 1, and it's the book.
And Fury just got keysed.
So the first item in level 1 is a dud, mostly because we already have it.
Yep, indeed. So.
Oh, geez, that's our second Gleeok in this dungeon already.
Yeah, Ategenos doesn't want to see another Gleeok. He'll try a different path. And speaking of Gleeoks, Fury finds his own.
This one's only 2 heads, though.
Good news is, as you can see on Fury's side, the permanent sword beams are on. He has only 3 of the 5 hard containers, but he's still able to find sword beams. That is a very important flag.
And this is probably the only way we'd ever actually find that out, because of, Oko.
Right you are.
But FurySK able to take out that Gleeok. And Gleeok returns with the ladder. So there's our first major item-related hint. And Dodongo dwells at the grave. We will have to find out how reliable these hints are.
Yeah, they could be truthful or they could be deceptive. It's hard to say early on. So we find another heart container on the floor, and unfortunately, Ategenos, as much as you want to cuddle up against those Gibdos, it's ill-advised in Oko.
Yeah, it got half-tiled there, I think.
Yeah, gridded as they were, as it were.
I would think that under Oko flags, I would think that the magical shield would have some significant value here.
Maybe. I mean, not the 176 rupee one, obviously, but you want the one that's the vanilla price is 90 rupees. But given these 2 calibers of runners, I don't expect it. Fury, that was the white sword variety of bombs plus, so FurySK gets bombs.
Yeah, an extra 2 max bombs. Not gonna be too concerned about that. Let's see. Step over the water to reach the recorder. Well, that one's accurate. We know that.
Yep, it's old news, but it's starting to look like maybe truthful hints are on there.
And
Hanleth friends with the boat. That's also accurate news. Starting to look like truthful hints are on here. And the other one is Garia grumbles with the raft. So if that is the truth, then Garia in level 7 is going to have our raft. So it's looking like it's not mixed hints. It's looking like truthful hints to me.
So far, yes. I think one of the ones that was seen was, I think it was Gleeok returns with the ladder. Would that be 4 or 8?
Returns with the ladder means it'd be 8.
Ah, okay.
Oh, and Ategenos again at Death Mountain as FurySK. Now, his bomb counter didn't go up, and I'm kind of confused as to why.
I think it's because this is... it's not the same thing as the bomb expansion shops. I think it works differently.
Ah, it's a glitch. Okay.
I'm not even sure if it's considered a glitch. It's just the 2 items aren't considered the same thing, I guess. So, like, one refills your bombs, the other does not. Whether by intent or otherwise.
I guess that makes sense. Of course, we'll know when one of these runners gets to 10 bombs. Crystal Saber in chat is telling us not even the great creator himself knows how to take care of that glitch.
Well, it
As
just
that,
goes to show, even in a game as old as this one, there's still mysteries to be unraveled.
yeah, this game is now 34 years old in Japan, 33 in the United States. Ategenos is making his way to Death Mountain. Does not have the power bracelet. And Fury, unfortunately, taking the same fall that Ategenos did earlier against that Gliok. So back to start he goes. Man, that Gliok has certainly had his way tonight.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of do it now, do it later, but it's not going to get any easier.
Little does Fury know that the reward is a key, which is nice considering he only has one key, but...
Well, he still has to... Because the shutter doors, he has no choice.
True. Meanwhile, Ategenos does get his power bracelet from the Armo statue, and will now continue to make his way towards, I would imagine, Vanilla 6.
Yeah, because we still haven't seen much for dungeons. I think so far we've seen 1, 3, 6, and 8 so far.
Correct, as we do find out that our door repair penalty is the vanilla amount of 20.
Well, there's Dungeon 2.
Which is the same size as Dungeon 1, 14 rooms.
So I know that regarding shapes, FurySK didn't have much check.
Second quest rooms. Yep,
I know that in shapes, the numbers is based off of the number of rooms, small to large. If Dungeon 1 and Dungeon 2 have the same number of rooms, is that pretty much just RNG determining which one's which?
Yes. Because I think level 2 can be level 1. We do find the candle is the item here in level 2, which is actually big because neither of these runners have a blue candle, so now Ategenos can start checking burn push spots. Furthermore, it acts as a permanent weapon because you can fire the red candle as many times as you want on the screen. 2 shots, of course, at the same time, maximum. But with the blue candle, you can only fire it once. If you want to use it again, you gotta go to another screen.
But it is kind of a double-edged sword, because if you're not careful, you can easily kill yourself with it.
Yeah, no flags. Yeah, you definitely want to be careful. It's a little less beneficial in these flags than it would be normally.
And not to mention, it was particularly beneficial to Ategenos because since we're kind of still under the...
No! FurySK with only one head left to go gets fired by one of the heads. That is a bad break, and FurySK's had enough.
Yeah, meanwhile, as I was saying with Ategenos, finding that since at the moment we're under the assumption that Heart Shuffle is not on, finding that candle pretty much means we're done with 2.
Correct, because it's again, we're not 100% sure, but I do believe just by how this is feeling so far, I believe heart containers are not in the shuffle except that ladder item on the coast heart container.
Yeah, that's what the evidence has shown so far. Yes.
Right. And Fury trying to top out his wall, instead is going to lose 20 rupees to that door repair penalty. Remember, in second quest distribution, 10 door repair penalties instead of 9. Ategenos, that will not burn, so second quest spot doesn't burn, first quest did, but that ended up being a door repair penalty. As FurySK heading for vanilla level 5, he'll find a medium secret here. And making a good point here, the longer it takes for FurySK to find a way to defeat that Gliok, the better odds that we are going to see a third and final decisive game in this match, because we need that Triforce out of level 3, because you need all 8 pieces to get to level 9. Speaking of which, we're now 22 minutes in, we still don't know where level 9 is.
And FurySK finds level 1, and looks like he's pirouetting the door open. Nice.
Smart move, considering he's only got 1 key to his name, and level 1 tends to have a lot of locked doors.
Oh,
so yeah.
I didn't notice this particular room. Oh dear.
And it's going to be required each and every time, so FurySK would behoove him to try not to lose his life.
And Ategenos finds level 8.
Also, another thing, I mean, it's not really relevant considering that our palette, or considering that the level number indicator is on, but it looks like palettes are not shuffled.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree on that one.
Of course, they would not be shuffled when we know what level it is. If we didn't know what level it is, palette shuffle would be on, because let's face it, when I'm on commentary, if I don't know what level it is, I'm done. That game knows. Here's that same... Yeah, Ategenos is going to see those in his nightmares tonight, as is FurySK, I would imagine. And speaking of Gleox, but Ategenos finds a clock. He's going to use one of his 2 keys in this room and find just an old man. Can he bomb to the right? Yep.
So level 5 is near the desert. There's the Triforce set we already have.
And it's definitely looking like Triforce are going to be in Triforce rooms. That's big news there, so we don't have to clear rooms to find our Triforce pieces, it would have looked like. And there's another heart container. Further cementing the evidence that heart containers are not in the shuffle is unfortunately Ategenos loses his life in 8, and back to start he goes. And out of level 8 he goes as well.
Yeah, Gleok returns with the ladder. So yeah, so we know that the ladder is in 8.
Which is big, because considering that we still have not found level 7, we still have not found level 9, and we're dealing with a mixed second quest. Well, there's level 7!
Yep, there's 7. Doesn't look too bad.
No, remember, like I said, in shapes, level 7 can be, for what I've seen from all the commentary I've done, it can be up to 30 rooms. It can be as small as 20. So, looking at the number of rooms here, you've got 6, 11, 22 rooms. That is 2/3 the size of vanilla first quest, and it's definitely on the smaller side of shapes level 7.
And we got ourselves a hint. The sail over the water to find the magic boomerang.
Which means there is a dungeon that is raft block there. That could be level 9 for all we know.
True. Could also be 7.
No, because Ategenos is in 7 right now.
True, yeah, with sorry.
And remember, based on the hint that we saw, Garia grumbles with the raft. The raft is here in level 7, and if level 9 is raft block, Ategenos is going to be in a powerful position.
Yeah.
And as you can see on Fury's side, yep, the bombs plus does add 2 bombs. You just don't get the refill like you do with bomb upgrades. But there you have it. Fury does have 10 bombs max.
Yep.
Fury getting a little bit greedy there, and the Beamos shoots him down. Oh, and there's what you were mentioning earlier, Melee Wizard, about how the candle can have a recoil effect, and Ategenos just experienced it.
I'm kind of wondering if that was intentional. For all we know, that might be faster than obeying.
That could have been. You never know. Anyways, here's that darn Gleok room again, that 4-headed Gleok. Well, the good news for Fury is once he defeats this Gleok, you won't have to face him again. This Gleok will not respawn. It acts as a boss.
Which is true, basically for all bosses except for Dodongos, I believe.
And another death for Ategenos in level 7. Back to start he goes. He knows he needs this Triforce piece in order to be eligible to go into level 9, but almost 27 minutes in, we still don't even know where level 9 is, and for all we know, that boomerang, or, yeah, the magical boomerang could be in level 9, along with level 9 being in that raft spot, and again, Gleok having his way with Fury here in level 3.
Yeah, when you got so many things flying around, you might as well be playing Toho or something, right?
Yeah, that bullet hell game, right? That's another good thing about enemies being 0 HP is that those Zols will not split into gels.
Yep.
That still doesn't find a good path. And is he blocked?
I want to say we are ladder blocked out of 7.
Which wouldn't surprise me. I don't care if you only need 1 Triforce piece. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Oh, he could be bow blocked. He's just purchased some 93 rupee wood arrows.
There was a Goma, but I don't think it was really blocking much, I think.
And the Gliok wins again against FurySK. You hate to see it, folks.
Yeah.
But Fury knows he can't progress until he defeats that Gliok. He's going to have to keep trying until he gets it right.
Yeah.
I think he solved the puzzle. I think you're absolutely right. I think we are ladder blocked, Melee. This could be one of those chain reaction seeds where one item leads to another. Could this Goma be guarding the ladder that is needed to get the Triforce out of level 7? That is needed to get the raft to get to level 9. Now, that would be something.
At least we have a lot of the... At least we actually have all this information as opposed to having to figure things out the hard way.
True. And again, man, it's brutal. Just Fury doing his best to try to take down this four-headed Gliok and just having no luck at all.
And the worst part about it is, what are your options right now? You can either keep banging your head against this, or you can leave and try to find dungeon level 7 or something. But you know you're gonna have to come back here eventually.
Right.
So.
And the only thing that can benefit Fury is if you were to find the wand, because it does 2 HP of damage. But again, those flames that come in contact makes the wand practically useless in this situation.
Yeah, because you can't. The wand beams won't hurt the Gliok head.
No,
You would have to do it in melee range.
Correct. Only the tip of the wand does damage. You are right. So Fury has to win this battle of attrition in order to progress, which is I think what some people were hoping to see in Oko flags. This kind of scenario.
Thing is, this kind of war of attrition doesn't even have to be in Oko. Cause six hearts, green mail, wooden sword. It's not the funnest thing to have anyway. Even when it's not one hit KO.
And yet again, Fury, who was one head away from winning the fight again. But this time, it was the main segment of the Gliok that took him down with his fireball.
And one thing mentioned in chat that Magic Shield would help. No, it would not. Basically,
Nope.
any shots fired from a boss cannot be blocked. And there is the ladder.
That's huge. Ategenos now gains access to the rest of level 7 and the Triforce and the raft. So Ategenos, I mean, I know we're not into level 9, and I usually wait until we get to level 9, but I think Ategenos is in the catbird seat.
At this point, yes. It would take... I want to say it would take a lot for FurySK to catch up at this point, as you don't want it to happen this way. I don't think.
Fury has got a few heads. Oh, but again, the fireball gets him. My goodness gracious! And again, it was the master body that took down Fury. Oh.
Yeah, you're just getting cornered. There's the heads flying around, shots coming from who knows where. It's sometimes you're just stuck. And there's the raft at 7.
Yes, Melee, the rich are getting richer. Ategenos has the raft. And again, all he has to do now is find the Triforce. And again, if that raft leads us to level 9, Ategenos, he's going to win this race. Unless level 9 lives up to its great equalizer name and then some.
Well, there is one potential wrinkle. We don't have any clues regarding silvers, and we don't know if Ganon is required yet.
True. The silver arrows, now again, we haven't found the silver arrows, we haven't found the red ring. I mean, it's still too early to guess as Fury just got cornered. No chance there. But right now, there's fair chance that red ring and silver arrows are in level 9. And FurySK... he's thinking, he's probably wishing he had never played HKO tonight.
And apparently, according to chat, we do know that Ganon is required via gentleman's agreement.
Ah, okay. So that is a big thing to know, so we do need to find the silver arrows, as we found another heart container.
That's another potential Gliok. Well, unless that's Well, ooh, candle, and of course it's way at the end.
Yeah, there's the bomb upgrade, which gives you anywhere between 2 and 6 extra bombs, but Ategenos finds himself a nickel and a dime short. Nice use of the bubbles there to avoid taking the Lionel beam there. That would have ended his route. And is able to get through all of these Lionels. He's one room away, but what is he going to have to take down? Just some keys.
Yeah, needle threading at its finest right there.
Don't get hit. We almost did there. Holy smokes. Makes it. He's in the Triforce room, and that's all for level 7 for Ategenos. He's now eligible to go to level 9 if he can find it. Back on Fury's side, and once again, the Gliok emerging victorious.
Yeah. So, if you're in Ategenos' position, would you, having just gotten the raft, you know that there's a dungeon that's raft blocked just based off of the hints? Do you check those now?
Yes. However, there's another thing. He has the ladder. Now he can get the recorder off the coast. There's always that possibility that the level 9 is recorder blocked. But I think he's going to check the raft spots first. He's going to check the power bracelet spot here at the forest. What do we have? There's a Ategenos cave. He's going to pick up the potion. Again, the only use the potion would have is if we have red bubbles. However, because we have shapes, that's not a good thing. At least I don't think. Who knows about this gentleman's agreement?
Yeah, no kidding.
For all we know, there's probably going to be red bubbles in 9. And again, Gliok just dominating Fury here. Ugh.
Yeah, that one was a point-blank shot. And there's level 5.
And that's not the level that Ategenos wanted to see. And it wasn't a really big level 5. I didn't get the chance to find out how many rooms there were, but that couldn't have been no more than 2021, which is small for a Shapes 5.
Well, considering how... It does make some sense considering how big level 6 ended up.
Ategenos swing and a miss on that candle, but luckily he's got the red candle so you can fire it again. We've got money. It's a medium secret where a medium secret normally would be. And again, Gliok taking down Fury. He does not care, that Gliok. Help, and Ategenos taking a def 1 screen east of vanilla level 1 spot, so he goes back to start as well.
Yeah, Zora Sniper.
Ategenos looks like he's going to be heading towards the coast. Remember that he does have the raft, which he'll probably check before he goes to the recorder.
Yeah, and I think it's one thought. It's like I'm not sure who got that hint regarding sale for the magical boomerang.
Fury.
Fury. So it's Ategenos didn't have that information. And there's level 4.
And again, Gliok and Fury resetting. Looks like he's had enough again. He'll have to come back later. So it was level 4. Now, there's always the possibility of the double raft block, as I like to say. 2 levels, both requiring the raft. And look at that rock saying, "Not in my house." Oh, oh, oh. Not going to pick up that recorder. He'll have to try again.
If nothing else, being able to... We don't know if the recorder is warped to completed dungeons, not completed dungeons, vanilla locations, new locations. If nothing else, it could get us around the world faster.
True, and Ategenos trying to... And oh man, almost getting picked off by both the Octorok shot and the Zola ball. And now using the boomerang to take out the Zola. Gets his recorder. That was some nifty combat there from Ategenos.
Yep, nicely done.
FurySK is going to purchase the magical shield, the most expensive one, because I don't think we've seen the other 2 shops.
It won't help against the Gliok, but if... One thing we haven't seen yet is the Wizrobes, and if they're out in force in 9, that'll probably help out and do some good.
Yeah, we haven't seen any Wizrobes. You're right about that. The enemy sets, though. So we've not seen level 6. And look at that. He's the magical shield, and that Gliok just doesn't give a darn.
Yeah. And looks like the recorder goes to Beaten Dungeons, first quest locations.
It's going to do Ategenos absolutely no good. Fury is going to go ahead and purchase some keys, and they definitely rolled down. 80 is the normal price, so 3 above the minimum price. So yeah, if this ends up being a key start seed, it's a great thing to do, as Ategenos finds. Look at this. We have 2 medium secrets, both in vanilla locations, in burn bush spots. That is kind of a wacky thing that got rolled.
Nice.
Look at this. The Taken cave, that's normally there too, so that's kind of weird. All of these things that are coming up vanilla, you know, like next to each other. Is this going to be a small or cheap? No, not a cheap shield shop. The door penalty.
Nah, not quite.
Crazy events here. Fury versus Gliok, round 25 or 624.
Let's just hope it doesn't go to 8675309.
Oh, good one, Melee. I love that response to my song. You gave me a song of your own. And now checking the other raft spot, it is the other hint shop. Playability to obtain the silver arrow.
Oh,
looking
wow.
like level 9 could be recorder block. And that is all the hints Ategenos need.
Because I believe we've seen all the other dungeons, yeah?
No.
Yeah, we have. We've seen 1 through 8.
You're right. That's the only one we haven't
So,
seen. Recorder. The chain reaction. Ladder was needed to get.
So that hint, that could potentially mean it would be locked. Could that mean it would be locked behind a dig dogger?
It could. It's possible. But it could also mean that it's possible. It's possible.
So that doesn't necessarily, unless 9 is recorder blocked, it doesn't necessarily. Ooh, FurySK got the job done.
As you were trying to think of that idea, all you had to do is not think about Fury's fight, and Fury would pull it off.
Yeah, so the thought is, if level 9 is not recorder blocked, it could be anywhere behind a dig dogger.
Absolutely. That's what the playability is. It's one of those 2 conditions. Either it is blocked. There's the medium-priced magical shield at 121, rolled anywhere between 110 and 150. But yes, you are absolutely right. There are 2 conditions that meet that hint. It's 1, either the level is guarded by the recorder to gain entry, or 2, a dig dogger is guarding that area to get to the recorder.
So let's see. Thinking about hints that we haven't gotten yet. I don't think we got a hint for 5 or 6. As far as like the items in them, because based off of the hints we've seen, we can surmise that the magical boomerang's in 4.
Yeah, yes, we now know that for a fact that magical boomerang is in 4, based off of the hints. Oh, and Fury falling here in level 3. But again, the good news for Fury is he does not have to take out that Gliok again.
Oh yes, definitely. When it comes to Oko, you'll take the small victories.
Ategenos checking if there is a recorder spot in the desert here, but before he can get it to the staircase, he gets coffee grinded.
Yeah, the levers, they can, especially those red ones, they can just pop up right in your face.
Man, this seed has been absolutely brutal to both Fury and Ategenos for different reasons.
Yeah, I mean, when you deliberately have 1-hit KO on, you're pretty much just asking for it.
Alright, now Fury finds himself closing in on the Triforce here in level 3 as Ategenos finds the small secret for 8 rupees. That's what he ended up missing out on, as Fury is a little light on that bomb there, trying to get the strike, as it were. Fortunately, because it's a boss, those petals will not go down in one sword.
Oh, wow.
Fury doing his best to not get hit. Gets the shot.
Dang.
Picks up the spare.
That was nice.
That was nice. Give him credit. That was a very nice troll handler fight. Now he has to get past these keys. He does. He's got his bow.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Ategenos checking Spectacle Rock's area, and we're going to check the whistle spot. That does not have a level. Fury finally gets his hard-earned Triforce in level 3. Now he just needs to get the one in level 7. But little does he know, he has to go through a chain reaction, and somehow those rocks didn't hit Ategenos.
Yeah, no kidding. So, is there any potential recorder locations that we haven't seen from Ategenos yet?
Well, like that same screen that has been getting him a few times tonight gets him again. That screen one east of level 1. Yeah, there's still some spots he hasn't checked. I know there's a couple in the Deadwoods. There's one near Vanilla Start. Yeah, there's still a few spots he hasn't checked yet.
He's probably gonna warp over to Vanilla 3 and check that recorder spot probably. Or not, he's going back to 1. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, he almost bought it again. Not this time. Fury, meanwhile, is heading for the coast, and he'll make his way to level 8. Now, the good news is this is the right play. The bad news is Fury actually does have the arrows. He did make the purchase.
Yep,
there it is, level 9.
He made a beeline for it, and yep, there's level 9.
54 rooms here, so we need the silver arrows. That is the first thing on Ategenos' agenda. And guess what? We've got Patra Wayne here in level 9 because you wouldn't want to have it any other way. He's going to have to do a block clip, but guess what? Patra Wayne just told Ategenos, go back to start.
So, one thing about the Patras, the center body is considered a boss, but the ones circling around are not.
You're correct.
So
you can take them down easily.
Especially since we have the permanent sword beams, so taking him out at a distance is really a non-issue.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to not get too greedy here with the end of this fight, because I do believe the eye normally has 11 hits? Yeah, 11 hits. Ategenos, that's a transport staircase, one of the 6 sets of transport staircases that we're going to find here in Shapes level 9. We're also going to find silver arrows. Now, there are other things Ategenos is going to be listening for, is the Roar of Ganon. If he hears the Roar of Ganon, then Ganon is going to be adjacent to where he currently is, one room north, south, east, or west. Also going to be looking for a single shutter door room, and if that single shutter door does not open upon full clear, he has found the location of Zelda. But again, still has to find the silver arrows, which we believe are here in level 9.
And according to our tracker CD Improv, apparently Ategenos does not have any audio on their stream, so we will not be able to get that information regarding the roar.
We're so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but it is what it is. As Fury does find the ladder out of level 8, that's a very important find there. Now, the only problem with Fury is we need a candle to get into level 7, and Fury does not have said candle. And there's the Wizrobes at 9 as advertised, and bad touch there, Wizrobe, bad touch.
Yeah, Wizrobes at 9. Can't be that surprised. Ategenos does know of a shop that has a magical shield he can afford. Now it's just a matter of whether he decides to try and go get that at some point.
Right. Ategenos, but again, given his skill level, I don't see him purchasing a magical shield. Not him. Fury, meanwhile, though, is going to pick up his recorder, which will gain him access into level 9. Check to see where they take him. It's going to take him to completed vanilla locations, which won't help Fury out in this particular case. It still needs a candle. Fire trying to do some dodging there, but Ategenos does take him down. Here's another staircase. Another potential shot at the silver arrows. Or maybe he's already checked that location because he just upped an aid, so he'll try another path. Fury is going to check the recorder spots now. Again, second quest push blocks are in play. That triple bar room has a staircase. That's not the staircase that Ategenos is looking for. Instead, he's gonna find
And another Patra.
Holy smokes! That eye was doing a screen scroll. Do you see that screen wrap? That one eye.
Yep.
Look at that. Go home. You're drunk, Patra.
And FurySK finds level 2 and decides no.
No, he's doing a pirouette.
Oh, right. Or, well,
Or is he?
no, he's, well, he,
Well, there goes one of the hints. That's a bait block. Or should I say, melee, quote unquote, bait block.
Yeah, since you came in from the top, you don't actually need the bait to get through. But it's still the fact that ate one of our hints. That's you don't want to see that.
Yeah, there's 4 hints. There's 3 old men, but one of them is gone. You know what else we have not seen yet?
Oh, dang!
What a greeting! Ategenos just got a mouthful of spikes there, and he'll have to try it again. You know what we haven't seen all match so far?
What?
Mugger rooms. They could be here in level 9. We're taking away the other 2 hints for all we know.
Yeah.
Here are the 4 potential hints we could see. The biggest one I think Ategenos wants to see is where the silver arrows are, which quadrant. The other potential hints we could see is what's guarding the compass, what quadrant Ganon is in, or what quadrant Zelda is in. Fury checking the recorder lake. There is a cheap bait, 55 rupees, so that is a 8 2/3%, or excuse me, 8 1/3% discount on the vanilla cheap bait price.
This room looks friendly.
I mean, the enemies aren't that intimidating, but when you have got a BMO statue trying to take you down like that, yeah, it's not so pleasant. I think our cheap shield shop is our rare shop tonight because we just saw a second moderate-priced magical shield on Fury's side.
Yeah, it's starting to look that way.
Which means the candle's the rare shop as well, because we haven't seen any candle shops.
I think there was one. I think it was at Vanilla 1.
I must have missed it then. In any event, Ategenos taking the push block here.
Well,
and there it is! As I called it, a mugger room, which is going to put Ategenos into zombie link mode, which is irrelevant in Oko.
Yep.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire, more blue Wizrobes. You know what? I have never seen a level 9 where all 3 hints were taken away. I want to see it this time. So I want to see another mugger room. I want to see another one. You know what that means, though, right, Melee? It means I'm not going to see it.
I'm trying to think of what else could eat one of the hints, if anything.
We've already seen varieties, and unfortunately...
Have we seen both of the, bomb expansions?
Bomb upgrades can never be in level 9 Melee, only ones
Fair.
wait.
Okay, fair enough.
Can be 2 mugger rooms in level 9. That is a possibility, and that's what I want to see. Make these runners earn it. Come on, game. You gotta do it with this one time. Yep, you were right about that.
Candle room, but... Yeah, the candle is a bit pricey. Fortunately, FurySK can't afford it yet.
Yeah, that is a big markup of 25%. It's anywhere between 40 and 80 rupees. And that cheap magical shield, that rolled way up, over 20% up. Yeah, Fury knows he needs a candle. Again, he could have got one in level 2. I mean, it's easy when we're in the commentator's booth. When you're the runner, it's not so easy. Fury does know where level 9 is. That's the good news.
Yeah.
Level 9 continues to troll Ategenos. Fury's not out of it yet. By the way, enemy drops have been shuffled. Did you notice that there was a bomb drop on those blue Wizrobes? That's
I
not
did.
a thing. No, it was a force. Excuse me. That was East had a bomb stored. He had a bomb stored. I didn't notice that. That's just expert skills right there.
Especially in Oko.
Did was I believe he bombed the 10th enemy, which became stored. So when he stabbed the next enemy, it became a set of bombs. Because normally when you stab the 10th enemy, it's a nickel. Gino's finding the staircase. Just another transport staircase. This is a typical level 9 if I've ever seen one, Melee. Fury will pick up the heart container, just to pick it up. I mean, he's not going to go for the other bombs plus. I think he just wanted to clear it out. Fury just 2 pennies away from making that candle purchase.
Ategenos finds a bomb wall.
That's the one thing.
And more spike trap. Oh my.
More spikes to the face, man. Man, you hate to see that. Wow. And Fury sees, oh shoot, I am 2 rupees short of purchasing that blue candle. Well, I don't know what his count is, but unfortunately he doesn't get a rupee drop. Ow! Tough break. Because those red levers are in the money dropping group at that Zola is like, no candle for you, Fury. And right into the waiting arms of an orange Wizrobe, and he'll send him back to start.
Yeah, you gotta be careful when you know you got Wizrobes around. Just marching straight into a room, it can lead to stuff like that.
Yep, that's for sure. As Fury trying to get that 10 count to get that 5 rupee drop from these Octoroks, and doesn't even get a single rupee out of them. They're in what we call the garbage dropping group. There's some rupees, there's some... And again, the lever saying no to FurySK. You're not getting cash off our watch. Not a chance.
Yeah, question in chat. What's the death count? We'll find out when they finish, or whenever we see it, or
they might
or
not
when,
even show us.
or well, we'll see it if they ever save, because it'll go back to the file select screen at that point.
Right. It's a lot of deaths, that's for sure.
Yes. Well, there's a save, and it looks like FurySK's up to 8, at least 8 that were acknowledged anyway.
Yeah, now it's 74 rupees for Fury, so he now needs to get 1 more. He needs 1 more rupee, and he gets the nickel. He forces the 5-er. Nice kill. Of course, it's not going to be a staircase because of the shutter door, but it was a nice kill of the room nonetheless. This broken triple bar room has the opportunity to be a staircase, though. And there they go, and there you go. Blue candle for FurySK, Ategenos. Another transport staircase. He's going to find all 6 before he finds either of the 2 items. And you know what he's going to find. He's not going to find the silver arrow source. He's going to find the red ring.
Well, we don't know if it's official silver arrow red ring.
It's just based on what we've seen. It's a high probability that that's what we're going to find at 9. Not a guarantee, mind you.
True.
It's a high probability.
Yeah, though the only other things it could be would be the heart container, the wand, or the magical key.
Also, the wooden boomerang is still in there. And then, look, another grocery store room. You normally see this in level 2. Ategenos, some good strategy here, backing off, and if he finds he's in trouble, he'll reset, and that's going to lock the room in place to what he has completed at this point. Now he's just going to wait for the blue Wizrobe to come to him and try to get the snipe shot off before he gets sniped. But the bubbles, well, they're not cooperating for Ategenos.
It doesn't help that we're not seeing the Wizrobes very well, though. That flickering can kind of mess with us based when on streaming.
Also, Ategenos has another problem. He's only got 2 keys left, and we've seen quite a few locked doors in this level 9. That could become a factor as well. Fury, not in much better shape. He's only got 3 keys either. And
Silvers.
Look at this.
Silvers are in the southwest, which is where he is now.
I told you we were going to see another mugger room here in level 9, and that is the absolute hint Ategenos wanted to see. He wanted to see that hint about where the silvers were. That's the best hint he could have gotten.
Okay, now is it... Oh, there's a spiral staircase with no enemies in it.
That kind of surprised me. Usually you see about 8 wizrobes guarding a spiral staircase.
Or maybe that was one he had already come from.
That probably was. Now, this staircase is new. We've got ropes. This is something you normally don't see in level 9. They could be the communal enemy for all we know. This is a staircase. What do we have here?
There it is.
Arrows!
There are the silvers.
Now, Ategenos needs to find the pig, and considering how much of this level 9 he's explored, I'll bet she's already found it. And now, I don't think we have found Zelda's room yet. So, Ategenos now can head for Ganon's room and take him down with either 1 hit if it's 0 HP, or 15 hits if he's not. Just keep in mind, folks, Ganon HP is a separate flag from both enemies and bosses.
Alright, heading through the staircase, it looks like Ategenos knows where he's going.
Yep, and once the room goes dark, we know we find Ganon. Because remember, in shapes, there is only 1 room that goes dark. It's going to be Ganon's room. But Ategenos has another problem. He is out of keys.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that is the other side of that bait block, so he would need bait to get through that. Of course, there's an alternative path to get to the rooms above, and Ategenos knows it. He'll up an A. Here he is almost to where vanilla level 7 is. I believe it was behind this burn bush. No, that's not it. This will be a door repair penalty, so this is going to cost him the rest of his 15 rupees. We're now 60 minutes into the race.
So suddenly I'm thinking that Ategenos doesn't know where Ganon is, unless it was beyond that locked door.
Could be. But yeah, Ategenos has no keys. Fury has 3. Again, this has been a key-starved seed overall. I don't think I've seen any of these runners have more than 3 keys. It's crazy. I mean, that's going to make the magical key that much more powerful. But where it is, I'll tell you where it is. You want my opinion? It's in 6.
Yeah, that's a nice place for it.
Yeah, because it's 35 rooms. I mean, it could be an 8. I mean, 8's another great place it could be in. But I'm going with my first instinct. I bet it's in 6. Now, Fury finds the letter, which he'll just go ahead and pick it up. And again, potions not really in play. We can find out what the price is, just for posterity's sake. But other than that, this really doesn't mean much to Fury. That's the same room that Ategenos got picked off in a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Problem is, Fury, who could have had a chance to gain some ground on Ategenos, just has not been able to find level 7, and that's what's buying Ategenos, and taking a death there, that doesn't help matters either.
Yeah. Between the red levers and the orange wizrobes, they're making their presence felt for sure.
No question about it there, Melee. And there's another Patra Wayne sighting, and like now, this one has Nemo's statue to go with it. Looks like Ategenos did take down the master. Now, here's level 5. It's either 19 or 20. Again, too quick.
Nice little trick there. Apparently, if you're that close to the Beemo statues, they don't fire.
That is a good trick. I certainly wouldn't have guessed that.
Didn't get him a key, so...
There's level 7 for Fury. So now
Ha!
Fury is still very much alive in this race. Because again, how do we get to Ganon's room? Where's Zelda? Are the two next to each other? I mean, right now, Fury, if he can get through level 7 quick enough, still has a shot to take it away from Ategenos, just like he did last year in the championship round.
And that's not a push block.
There's that hint about sail over the water to find the magic boomerang, which again is old news to us, and it's news that really doesn't matter in terms of beating this game because level 9 is not there. 8 gen now also out of bombs, so resource management in play right here.
Well, there's a bomb drop right there.
Yep, Orange Wizards are in the bomb dropping group. So Ategenos getting a break there, getting a 4-pack of bombs, but now finds himself in another Demo statue room. As Fury is tangling with these orange land molas here, using arrows as a long-range weapon, and unfortunately, Demo's room got him. The Remorse flag, believe it or not, folks, for those of you just joining us, is one-hit knockout. Oko. The next race, if there is a game number 3, which 20 minutes ago was looking really likely, is now in doubt.
Yeah, well, at least we know that Ategenos, unless he wants to go get that magic shield, we know Ategenos does not need to leave this dungeon for any other reason. But
and unfortunately, Ategenos fired his sword too early, and the beams missed the rope. And Fury getting picked off by a manhandler, so back to start he goes. Fury needs the Triforce out of level 7. We know that it's in the far eastern region. Nice bomb there, and Manhandler cooperates this time for Fury. Sees the ladder block, but does have the ladder. Remember, that was what stopped Ategenos the first time, so unless combat gives Fury trouble, there's another key, and all of a sudden, FurySK's got 5 keys. Ategenos bombing to the right. That spot on the far right side looks ominous. Fury finds the raft, doesn't need it. Must not be anything there. I saw that spot on the ramp thinking, is that where Ganon is? Nah.
ooh, there's a key though.
Big find there for Ategenos, getting a break. And
there's
key.
another one.
Wow, Ategenos finding the key shop in this level 9. That's normally something you don't see. Meanwhile, though, Fury getting closer and closer to where he needs to be. Now he's got the compass. Can he get to it? Yes. So now he knows exactly where he needs to go. But there's a lot of heavy combat ahead. Let's see if he can get through it. He's trying to use the lag frames to his benefit because this is like the Blue Lagoon room that you see in level 8. Ategenos going to take this transport staircase. Now with 2 keys in hand, things are starting to look up. Now, Fury takes down all 3 keys, lickety-split, and now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon. It just might be too little, too late for FurySK. Is Ganon 0 HP? The survey says, yes, he is!
Oh my!
Down he goes. We've got Bacon, and the Triforce of Power is, well, considering that Ganon is in Ganon's room, there's a high probability that Zelda will be in Zelda's room. So Ategenos is going to want to look for a path to get to from the south, because there's going to be a shutter door to the north. That's what it's looking like here.
Mm-hmm.
Fury now in level 9 himself, but time is running out for him.
Yeah. We've explored a good bit of 9, but there's some conspicuous empty spots there.
It certainly is, Melee. It's It's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Because, you know, Zelda is the best at hide and seek for a reason. But let's face it, they both won. I mean, Ganon was tough to find. Zelda was tough to find. Ategenos using his last key and finds another locked door.
Yeah, I don't think it was so much finding Ganon, because it looked like Ategenos had that information. It's just, you needed the key.
Ategenos getting another key and now finds a reverse C room, which is not going to be a staircase. But it is a shutter door that will push, which could lead him into the right direction. Do we have a shutter door?
We have a shutter door, and it opens. There it is.
GG's out for Ategenos. We've got a third and decisive game here in this match between FurySK and Ategenos. And coming up next, right here on Speed Gaming 2, you're going to see Blackout.
Yep, Ategenos finishing first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 8 minutes flat, and FurySK forfeiting shortly afterwards. I don't blame him, because we do have one more game to do here.
Absolutely there, and I will say this much. Level 9 definitely proved to be the great equalizer, but if it weren't for another great equalizer, that four-headed Gliok in level 3, I think FurySK could have stole it, but them's the breaks, and Ategenos perseveres. We go to a third. By the way, as I always like to say, Melee Wizard, when in doubt, guess a Final Fantasy tune, and there's your Final Fantasy tune.
Yep. I'm not the best at recognizing the recorder tunes anyway, so I probably wouldn't.
Well,
I wouldn't have.
I grew up with the NES and the Genesis, yeah. But in any event, congratulations to Ategenos, who has forced a third and decisive game in this winner's round of 16 match. In just a few moments, we're going to have a blackout seed, folks, so don't you dare go away. By the way, there's the number of deaths for those of you who are trying to keep count. That's just on Ategenos' side. He had 22 of them, folks. 22.
And that's assuming he didn't reset.
Right.
And I noticed in the SRL room, they're both kind of airing their grievances over the seed, if not just Oko in general.
Right. So it's going to be winner take all. The winner moves on to the winners quarterfinals. The loser goes down to the bonus bracket against Fryteeth.